Number 23. What does the word testifies mean in paragraph 5? A. Helps or assists with the construction of a building. B. Speaks or acts as proof against or in favor of a cause. C. Resists the urge to cause or start a war. Or D. Puts another person in harm's way. Number 24. Which phrase from the speech most clearly displays the speaker's use of both alliteration and assonance? F. Crack of rifle fire and the roar of cannon. G. Sheer and desolate cliffs. H. Under a terrible shadow. Or J. Wipe from the face of the earth. Number 25. How does a photograph taken on June 6, 1944 help the reader understand the events discussed in the speech? A. It shows the reader where the battle took place. B. It demonstrates that President Reagan was in the battle. C. It illustrates the United States' commitment to liberty. Or D. It helps the reader imagine what the soldiers may have seen. 26. The photo of President Reagan communicates that his speech is supposed to be seen as a F. Sad and depressing event. G. Relaxed gathering of world's leaders. H. Formal and serious occasion. Or J. Joyful and hopeful time. 27. Which sentence from the speech best illustrates the idea that, at the time of the battle at Normandy, the Allies were not winning the war? A. Europe was enslaved and the world prayed for its rescue. B. We stand on a lonely, windswept point on the northern shore of France. C. When one ranger fell, another would take its place. Or D. Here, in this place where the West held together, let us make a vow to our dead. 28. Read the sentence from paragraph 8 of the speech. Strengthened by their courage and heartened by their valor and borne by their memory, let us continue to stand for the ideals for which they lived and died. Rhetorically speaking, this sentence contains F. The incorrect premise that many soldiers died in the battle. G. Loaded terms intended to evoke positive emotions. H. Circular logic in which a claim acts as its own evidence. Or J. A leading question that contains the desired answer. 29. Which of the following is the best summary of the speech? A. World War II was a dark and frightening time. Europe was nearly overtaken by governments that oppressed and killed millions. The world decided to take action to rescue Europe. These Allied forces planned and enacted an invasion at Normandy that was terrifying and costly for the soldiers who participated. B. The battle at Normandy on D-Day was terrifying and costly for American and Russian soldiers. For this reason, these nations would like to avoid further wars. Both the United States and the Soviet Union agree that World War II was a dark and frightening time during which Europe was nearly overtaken by evil forces. C. World War II was a dark and frightening time. The battle at Normandy on D-Day was terrifying and costly for the soldiers. The war was also costly for the Russian people. These costs prove the war should be avoided. The United States wants to avoid future wars and hopes that the Soviet Union agrees. D. The United States waits and hopes for a sign that the Soviet Union is committed to avoiding future wars. War should not be permitted because of its enormous costs. But as we wait for a sign of agreement from the Soviet Union, we must be ready to defend ourselves and our allies. 30. Read the sentence from paragraph 5 of the speech. We want to wipe from the face of the earth the terrible weapons that man now has in his hands. And I tell you, we are ready to seize that beachhead. President Reagan uses the metaphor of the beachhead to emphasize F. That a world without weapons is worth fighting for. G. How the United States is willing to fight to protect Europe. H. The bravery of the Rangers who landed at Normandy. Or J. The danger to the world posed by the Soviet Union's weapons.